Happy Tuesday to you. Mitch Garver ended a pitching duel last night with a 2-run blast to the bottom of the ninth for a Mariner 2-1 walk-off win over Atlanta. Bryce Miller and the Braves' Max Fried locked into a battle from the get-go. Fried no-hit the Mariners through 6 innings, while Miller held a no-hitter going into the 7th. Bryce also got some help from his defense along the way before Garver was the hero in the bottom of the ninth.
Here's the 1-2 to Kelnick. Maria's got to hurry. He knows it. Throws and a run. No! Too much speed by Kelnick.
Kelnick, as we know, runs really well.
Oh, man, that's close. Yeah.
Ooh. We're going to take a look at that.
Yeah. See that getting overturned. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Mariners are running off, walking off the field. They're confident.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out.
A blooper, long run. Hanny coming on. Yeah, he's got it. Haniger with some closing speed. Bryce Miller dealing tonight. He's retired everybody through 4.
He grounds this up the middle, off the glove of Moore, and that is the first hit of the ball game. It belongs to Ronald Acuna Jr., and it comes in the 7th inning.
They're trying to go up and in. That ball ends up down and away. It's 95 in. It's 98 on the way out. It looked like it might have been off the end a little bit, but you can see all that room there for Ronald. Good effort by Moore to try to corral it.
2-2 to Ozzie. That'll do it. Right center field and well hit. And it bounces up and off the wall. Ozzie's hit streak extends to 12 games, and he gives Atlanta a 1-0 lead in the 7th.
They did it on the base hit, then the 2 stolen bases, and now 94 right down the middle to Ozzie. We talked about at the very beginning of this game how the gaps will play at this ballpark. We have seen this team hit doubles all year long, and Ozzie coming up big.
Polanco a lead, and the lefties 3-2 on the way, swinging a fly ball deep to left field, and this one is goodbye baseball. A walk-off 2-run home run for Mitch Garver, and the Mariners win it. They win it 2-1 over the Atlanta Braves. The Mariners with a walk-off win tonight over the Atlanta Braves on Mitch Garver's home run way out to left field. His 3rd home run of the season, and everybody's gonna go home happy.
Root Sports Northwest Jen Mueller, who, by the way, will be our keynote speaker at the Apple Blossom All-Service Club Luncheon and Community Get-Together tomorrow, caught up with the jubilant Garver after his heroic hit.
How many different thoughts are you cycling through in that at-bat?
A lot. I mean, he made a really good pitch. 2 really good pitches on me, 3-1, 2-0. I got a pitch to hit there in the full count, and I was looking for something to do damage on.
And you certainly did. Off the bat, it sounded good. Did it feel just as good to you?
It felt amazing. I dropped the bat. I knew the game was over. We won the game. That's all that matters.
When pitchers are in rhythm, the way that both starters were today, do you feel pressure building when you start getting into the 5th and 6th inning, knowing you haven't been able to disrupt them?
Yeah, really good pitchers duel tonight. I mean, we got to tip our cap to Fried, and our guy threw the ball pretty good too. Really, really good ball game. It came down to the very last pitch, so I mean, what else could you ask for?
Miller finished the 7th, allowing just 1 run on 2 hits with 10 strikeouts and 1 walk. He says he learned something from his experience last season.
Going into it, like that's what I did last year against him, so that was kind of the game plan. But I just knew, like, last time when I threw against him, I didn't have the sinker, didn't have the splitter, so I felt pretty good coming into it. Yeah, I mean, I remember my debut, one thing Cal told me was I threw a lot of fastballs that day, and I came in and I was like, I never threw this many fastballs in a game. And he's like, well, we're gonna keep riding it till they hit it. So yeah, I mean, if it's working early, we're gonna keep going with it and try to adjust as the game goes. But you could tell early it was working, so we stuck with it. Yeah, I mean, spring training we knew we were gonna be good on the mound, so it's every day, you know, it's a lot of fun to go out and watch the other guys pitch, and then, like, whenever it's our turn, like, we know it's time to go out and compete, and we're gonna do what we do and attack. And it's, you know, like I've said before, we're all similar, but we're different, and we have different ways to get guys out. And but it's a lot of fun.
Seattle and Atlanta battle again tonight at 6:40 on Root Sports Northwest. Seattle, meanwhile, was one of 3 teams playing Monday in the American League West. Oakland remains 3.5 games out of first place after a 5-1 win over Pittsburgh. Angels remain 5 games back after a 6-5 win against the Phillies. Houston and Texas were both idle on Monday. Well, the coaching carousel for Seattle major sports franchises continued Monday with Dave Hakstol getting fired by the Seattle Kraken. It began with Pete Carroll's ouster with the Seahawks. Then Kalen DeBoer jettisoned for Alabama. The UW fired men's basketball coach Mike Hopkins and then lost their athletic director to Nebraska. Now, Kraken general manager Ron Francis says it was time to make the tough decision for Seattle's NHL franchise.
I think we reevaluate ourselves every day. I mean, it's that's something we do on an ongoing basis. What we do as a management team, what I said at the end of the year, what we do as a coaching staff, with development staff, with scouting staffs, we review all that stuff all the time. So, it wasn't until we got to the end of the season and took some time and thought about it. And honestly, I didn't make my final decision until yesterday morning. It's really difficult. I mean, like I said, I think he was a good coach when we hired him. I still think he's a good coach. He's a terrific person. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes in, not only by him, but by his wife and his family. And, it's never easy to make a decision like this and tell somebody that, you're relieving them of their duties. So it's extremely, sad day in that regard.
Francis explained the pressure of the NHL to compete for a Stanley Cup is felt throughout organizations in the league.
Well, I think there's so much at stake, right? The parity in the league is so close. On any given night, you can win or lose, and the expectations are probably more intense now than they've ever been. When you look at teams can just get into a playoffs and have a chance to win the cup. So there's a lot of pressure to get in. There's no easy route to getting in. It's a long season. There's a lot of things that can happen over the course of the season. I think these all factor into some of those decisions that are made.
Hakstol led Seattle to its first ever playoff appearance last year, but this year's team fell well short of expectations. Francis says the search is on for the Kraken's second coach in franchise history. Omak and Tonasket each posted wins in Prep Boys soccer on Monday. The Pioneers blanked Manson 2-0, while the Tigers topped Pateras 4-2. A busy schedule today has Tonasket at Okanagan, Brewster's hosting Oroville, Liberty Bell plays at Bridgeport, Manson welcomes Pateras, Fred is on the road to Grandview, Quincy hosts Warden tonight at 6. The 7 o'clock matches have West Valley at Eastmont, while Wenatchee travels to Moses Lake. In Prep Fast Pitch softball Monday, Richland topped Moses Lake 10-0, while Othello and Ephrata split a doubleheader, each winning by the same score, 6-3. There are 3 doubleheaders on the schedule today, with Liberty Bell at Cleellum, Oroville's hosting Bridgeport, and Wilbur Creston Keller is at Waterville Mansfield. Single games today have Davis at Wenatchee, while Cashmere is at Cascade, and Brewster hosts Okanagan. The North Central B-League baseball schedule today, Liberty Bell is playing 2 in Cleellum. Manson is hosting Tonasket. Elmira Cooley Heartline is playing at Brewster. Lake Roosevelt visits Okanagan. Waterville Mansfield is on the road at Moses Lake Christian. As the Caribou Trail League season winds down, Cascade is hosting Cashmere, while Chelan is in Quincy. Big 9 matchups today find Sunnyside at Eastmont, Wenatchee is at Davis, and Moses Lake is hosting West Valley. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.